All right. Looks like we're there.
Okay, good. Well, yeah, I just realized something right when you hit that button, you're automatically live. So I always assume I'm not, but that's so. Welcome to the Ripple Effect with David and Erica. I love Erica's outfit today. She was telling me that she got that sweater as a gift, and it actually has fruits and vegetables on it. It's a beautiful sweater, and then she has a
Little,
headdress as well. She almost looks like a Swedish midsummer. I don't know if you're familiar with that holiday. I'm half Swedish, so there's a midsummer holiday in Sweden, and they wear that exact headdress. Yeah.
yeah, I know a little bit about it. So yeah, Judy Ho, our friend from our BNI chapter, gave me this. She found this at a thrift store. These veggies are all over my jacket. Isn't that cute? And then this is made by a San Francisco florist, also a BNI member. So this has been holding center for a couple of years now. Like little flakes of flowers are coming off of it, but I do like it.
Great. Yeah, I'm just sharing our broadcast here more broadly, and
Okay.
this is your format today. Actually, I did want to first do a check-in today about things that you've been working on, be it health or not, and just how your week's been. I know that you've been doing some tower garden grant writing, so you're trying to get tower gardens in schools and really teach kids about healthy living. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. And do you want me to get my microphone on or am I okay? Am I loud enough?
Oh yeah, you're good.
Okay. So yes, I'm Erika Gimbel and I am the co-host of The Ripple Effect. You see me every week just about with David. And this week and last week, I've been really working on writing grants for the Whole Kids Foundation. It's due tomorrow. So I've been writing and prepping for these applications to get them in. They're $3,000 grants per kids organization or school. And it's very exciting. There's my mail person. And so I'm writing a grant for a Vermont school that I used to work at years ago in my early 20s and at the Rock Point School. And then I'm writing a grant for the Academy of Alameda, which is just down the hill from me. And actually, I have this wonderful connection with somebody who is kind of famous in the Bay Area. His name is Ashanti Branch, and he gave me a tip for this school being interested in growing with the vertical garden. So Ashanti Branch is this really cool person who created Ever Forward, and he's featured in this movie called The Mask You Live In, and it's kind of about boys turning to men and masculinity and uh, all sorts of challenges that our young men face today growing up. So anyway, he's a cool guy, and he forwarded me to chat with the principal from the middle school. And so that school is going to get on board and apply for this grant. We're just getting it in. So it's very exciting. I don't like to write, but I'm becoming a grant writer for this week. And so I'm learning so much, David, about it, about how to be specific, and specific is terrific for these grants. And, we're kind of excited. I've been interviewing teachers and faculty and staff and principals at these different schools and headmasters. And it's just so cool what we're dreaming up, and how can the wider community support growing vertically in different areas of the country, and also Canada can apply for this as well. So if you're listening and you're tuning in and you're like, wait, I want to go for this, you can totally reach out to me and I can give you a consult about it, and we can help you get your feet going in the right direction. And if you miss the deadline, guess what? Next year you can go for this grant. I know that there's a lot going on right now with COVID and coming out of COVID and having school back in person. And there's a lot of adjustment going on. And, this is such a wonderful thing to look forward to for your 2020 2021 fall to 2022 school year. So it's something to really consider, and it just has people light up with awe and curiosity and wonder. So really, there's no limit to what can be created with these vertical gardens and with any gardening grant. I mean, the limits, what are the limits? It's your own limitations. So you can see I can get on a roll. You can see
Yeah, no, I love you hearing him talk about it. I know it's a very kind of stressful time right now to be a teacher and a student, and we commend them for all that they do. I actually think these kind of make their life a little bit easier in that it's an outdoor activity. You're teaching the kids to be healthy. So, education isn't really all about kind of words. It's about kind of inspiring our kids to be
yeah,
healthy and do something new. And that's what I love about the Tower Garden in
yeah,
schools, so, and
yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
as an advocate too yeah.
Yeah, I'm such an advocate, and I take my fire from my hero, Steve Ritz, this teacher from the South Bronx. He wrote this book, The Power of a Plant, and this book just rocks my world, and it makes me cry. It makes me excited, and so he just came out with a really cool video with his wife and his daughter, and he's from the South Bronx, and he wrote this book, and he is the reason probably why 15,000 schools across North America and Europe and Dubai and soon Mexico love growing and love growing vertically. Not only he does other kinds of growing as well, but I mean, it makes things so easy, these vertical grow towers, and it's sustainable. It saves water. It saves like 90 to 98% of the water. It's really an amazing experience to grow with those commercial food grade systems. So it is something that becomes very alive and wondrous, and it's the gift that keeps on giving. So I love growing in the dirt also, and I have dirt experience with right around my house. I take things that are growing in my vertical garden that keep on going and wanting to expand, and I get them into these dirt pots around my house, and I get them into the dirt that, not just pots, but into the dirt that will go down deep into the ground. And the ways that we can learn as we go. I mean, I've been doing this for 9 years with the vertical gardens, and I keep on learning. And I was just talking to a master herbalist from Burlington, Vermont, who has her herbal school. It's called spoonfulherbs.org. And she's like, yeah, I keep learning and growing with this too. And I've known her for over 20, 25 years, and she still is keeping on learning as well. So you see how it just lights you up on fire and gets you curious and wondrous and entrepreneurial. So that it's very exciting, David.
Great. Yeah, well, we love to hear inspiring stories and share stories, and we continue to do that on the ripple effect. And do you want to go ahead and take us out to take a look at one of those tower gardens? I know we've revisited this subject before, but let's take a look at one of those. If folks are new to a tower garden, maybe they have a school or know somebody at a school that might want to get a tower garden in their school.
Yeah, what's so
Yeah.
particularly delicious about this experience, if you can hear me, is this could be a fundraiser for the school. So the way that this could be a fundraiser is if a parent or somebody from the community comes and supports the process, they may see these vertical gardens and say, I want to get one, and then it kind of can be a way that the school can create funding for more of these systems, and they could thereby create a farmers market and feed their community. So I'm taking you outside. Just let me know if it gets choppy. Okay.
Yeah. I will say that my girls, I have a 6-year-old who just turned 6 and a 15-year-old, and they actually really love growing plants. The 15-year-old just got this, Elvira got this planter, and she's been growing plants. And then Carrie is also growing plants too. So I think I haven't really seen him get as excited about growing plants or as anything else. Is the most excited I've seen them. So it's a great activity to, grow things. And also then they're more likely to eat healthy foods if they actually grow it. You know what a challenge it can be to get youngsters to eat green vegetables and things. So yeah, if you don't mind telling us, Erica, a little bit about this tower garden and kind of what it is and how it works.
Yeah, so you can hear maybe just a little bit of the water running. That's the pump that's in the base of the tub. And there's a pump inside here, this 20-gallon reservoir. It's shooting water up to the top and hydrating the roots on the way down. There's no dirt. And I just transplanted some stuff from another tower. So I'm just having fun moving things around. But this is what it looks like. The roots hang down like this. This is some beautiful lettuce here, and the roots just hang down and they get hydrated by the waterfall system that's occurring on the inside. So anyhow, this is, things are coming out of that. We're coming into spring, and things are getting into organization here. We got celery, we got different kinds of lettuce, we got watercress, we got kale, we have beans that are coming in over here, tomatoes that I transplanted. They're starting to get organized. Things are in flux all the time. That's the fun part about this. And so I've been growing with these for 9 years, as I was saying, and it's the gift that keeps on giving. I have one tower that is getting washed up in the back. I have another one that needs to be cleared out. And every 4 to 6 months, I do a full washout sanitization of my systems. And what else do I want to show you? I have arugula. I have more lettuce. I never have a shortage of lettuces. Um, I
Yeah,
have,
and I see such a synergy between your cooking and the healthy smoothies and this tower garden. So you can actually, when you have one of these, then you have the ability to just go outside and pick these great organic greens and vegetables and then put them in a smoothie or put them in a salad. So it's just so fun and so tasty. And I see you do that all the time. But
yeah, I'm always experimenting, and I got these hot peppers that was growing on my tower for the longest time. We find that the hot peppers and all different variations of peppers, they do really well in the tower, and also zucchinis. I mean, many things do well in the tower, but you see this guy? This guy has been growing in my tower for the longest time. It's going to be hot. This red pepper here.
oh, I
And
love those red peppers.
yeah, and I have other things that I've picked off the tower that are patiently waiting here to be eaten by me. After we finish this podcast, I'll be making a beautiful big salad. And it's like that for me. Like every day I can eat this big, ginormous salad, and I just keep harvesting and cut off enough so that I leave an inch or so, and then it can regenerate on there 7 or 8 times. So it's very, 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 very productive.
Yeah, in a fishing, I mean, that's one of the things that strikes me about the tower versus, a raised planter is the amount of things that you can grow in one tower seem like the same amount of production as you'd get out of like two big raised planters, based on kind of my just rough assessment. And then it grows a lot quicker in there, as you were saying, because of the nutrients and, some of the efficiency of the garden.
Yes.
Am I
And
am I stating that correctly?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You can call it a vertical garden. You could call it grow towers. You could call it tower garden, whatever you want to call it. And I just discovered a really cool tool, which I will put in the chat for you all. That is a way to estimate how much money you're actually saving with these systems, like by growing your own, growing your own, growing your own. So I will definitely put that into the chat so everybody could look it up. Like, so we find like, if a school or some organization, a restaurant decided to have 3 of these, it's called the family garden, they would save, between 160 to 300 and something dollars with growing these towers in a month. And that becomes a lot of money over time. So if you can save, and you figure out what your burn rate is. We call it the burn rate. Our friend, he's like, how many heads of lettuce do you burn through in a week? And this school, I was getting their statistics at the Rock Point school. They burn through pounds and pounds of produce in a week. And so having 1 to 3 of these systems will help them. First of all, they'll grow the culinary herbs that they use for dishes, but then they can start to get those lettuces growing and romaine. There's certain things that go that can turn around really quickly. So from a food production standpoint, they can really chip into what they're paying for on a weekly, monthly basis. He's getting like 2 pounds of zucchinis, 2 pounds of this, two bushels of this, and you just burn through that when you have a school of 40 people to feed. And in these other situations that are school of 450 people, well, it's a little drop in the bucket, but all the learning that's going to happen, all the interdisciplinary learning that will occur, it creates awe, curiosity, and wonder. So I'm
it
just,
it creates a certain energy, like to have those in your house or in your restaurant, to have this beautiful thing growing all this great food. It's really a centerpiece of wherever you go. It's so fun to go over to your house and see these great tower gardens and what you have growing each time, and checking out how big the peppers are getting. So I just think for a restaurant here in the Bay Area, it's such a good kind of marketing ambiance thing, even though you also get a use out of it too. So don't you have a couple restaurants that you work with over in Berkeley, or is it coffee shops too that also look at these?
yes. Well, I have one at Revival Bar and Kitchen restaurant here in Berkeley, and that it has had this experience going, I think, since late November. They had their tower started there, and we've had a lot of great experiments with that over there. And then I've approached restaurants in the neighborhood in the Bay, in my little Diamond Laurel district of Oakland, and I'm so available to come and have to loan a tower garden to one of these restaurants and see how they like it. And then they can go from there to see if they want to have 3 or more. If you have a roof, or if you have a driveway or patio, or you could be very creative with where you place your vertical gardens. And if you go up on a roof, there's ways to protect, so that for wind, and to make sure that they're attached properly so that nothing's going to blow off of a roof. But they're very sturdy systems, and they'll last a lifetime. And they're all UV food grade systems that even 10 years later with tests, there's nothing leaching out in a bad way. Everything's safe. And again, it's a commercial food grade growing machine. So it just provides for pounds and pounds of produce, and also delight. And then yes, of course, you have to grow things in the dirt, like root vegetables, or you have to grow you know apples on a tree, and things that have to grow in the bush that you cannot do in the vertical garden. And it begins growing all the things that you could do. It creates, well, how can we work this out? How can we figure this out, right? And so that's really jazzing my socks these days. And talk to me in August. We'll see what of the grants we get awarded, and then we'll be able to roll up our sleeves and get to work with these different schools and kids organizations.
Oh, great. And I know how supportive you are and inspiring about, somebody looking at one of these. You can really tell them everything they need to get started and kind of
Yep.
help them through the early stages. I just
Yeah.
think that's a great quality you have, is that you're so generous with your support and your time about how to help people, get one of these and have it really, change their life and for the
Yeah.
better, so to speak.
Yeah,
So
I'm available to support and consult. And I'm really setting it up so the schools, they get to win with this, and it's not going to cost them financially. More so, it's about the dreaming that gets created, and from there everything rolls out. Like we in 2 or 3 days, we figured out community partners that want to support. We figured out experts that are ready to be of support and consult. So it's just so exciting. And yeah, I could go on and on about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we're just about at time, and I will actually send this video to my Carrie's principal to let him know
Yeah, I
if
made
he
a
wants to learn
video
more. Yeah.
I made a video on my Facebook page that maybe you saw, and it's just like me saying, "We're writing these grants, talk to me." So that's another video that we can share, as well as the video that was just made with Stephen Ritz and his Lisette and Michaela, his daughter and wife. And this is about the Green Bronx Machine partnering up with the Tower Garden organization for Women's Empowerment Month. Women's History Month is right now. So, it just keeps rolling in positive, productive, powerful ways. And we're so excited.
Great. Well, reach
What did you
out.
want to check in about, David?
Yeah. What's that?
What did you want to check in about for
Oh,
yourself? If we,
um, I don't need to do that. Well, I have one podcast that's new one launching this afternoon, and then I have another one that's going to come out. But
are,
I'll share more of those. So I'm continuing on my podcasting journey, and glad that we've been able to evolve the ripple effect to do
yeah,
fun things like this. So
I really am grateful for your expertise in creating the ripple effect. And I mean, it just is good energy, David. So thank you for everything that you do. And it's good hygiene for any business owner to have their own podcast. And this is super positive. So thank you.
great. Well, yeah, I love to. I think we demonstrate that every week here on the ripple effects. I appreciate you saying that, and thank you for being such a great co-host too. And if you do have a great message and product, and also you like to talk, that's all you really need to start your own podcast, as Erica and I have done. So thanks a lot, folks. Well, do reach out to Erica or me. Feel free to message us or put it in the comments if you want to hear more about the Tower Garden. We're here to help. Erica's the pro with it,
Yeah,
and
let's get your grants written for your school, your kids' organization. Let's do it.
will do. And with that, we're gonna sign off for this edition of the Ripple Effect. Thanks everybody for joining us this week, where small changes become big changes. Bye, everyone.